A male god from the neighboring major posted an official announcement on Moments. Such an abstract official announcement. No one knows who his girlfriend is. At this time, my roommate Yura opened her mouth coyly. Oh, it's me. 416 is the last few digits of my student number, announcing with a student number. You are even more abstract than him. Since then, Yara has been constantly showing off her love life in the dormitory. Oh, he likes to buy me bags the most. That's right. This pair of shoes is also a gift from him. Have a meal together? No way. He said he doesn't want to see other girls. Every time Yara shows off, I listen very carefully. Because I'm very curious how she is having a one-sided relationship with my boyfriend. Ning Bao. Everly posted an official announcement on Moments today. I was lying dead on the bed. My roommate Tiffany pulled open my bed curtain. The sudden sunlight almost made me. This lazy ghost. Vanish. I took a look at the phone that Tiffany handed over. On the screen was a screenshot of Moments. T416. V. I turned my just awake and brain. Just this thing. How did you see that he is making an official announcement? I asked his roommate. His roommate said he was happy all night in the dormitory, and said he was going to make an official announcement. Ning Bao. What does 416 mean? Who is his girlfriend? I didn't answer Tiffany's words because my phone rang. A friend named Little Lan Ren sent me several WeChat messages. Sister Benja. I made an official announcement. Won't you be angry? You can't go back on your promise of being my girlfriend yesterday. Why aren't you replying to me? Such an abstract moment posed is really an official announcement. The train of thought of those who study sports is really different. But I still picked up my phone to reply. I just woke up. The official announcement is good. Don't do it next time. Everly. The male god of the sports department. With a height of 1.9 meters. A pack ABS. And an abstinent face. He has successfully won half of the campus Fanglers. But for me, he is just the little brother who only plays with mud at Caleb's house next door. He is 3 months younger than me. We played together since we were in split pants. Now we are in the same university. Yesterday was Sunday. We went back to school from home together. Then on the way, he confessed to me. Perhaps because the carriage was too noisy. His figure was too good. And the atmosphere was subtle. I agreed in a muddled way. I was considering whether to confess this matter to Tiffany and the others. But my roommate Yura came back on her small high heels. As soon as she entered the door, she looked at the three of us coyly. Hesitating to speak. Seemingly wanting to say something but stopping. Tiffany and I pretended not to see. Another roommate Kali spoke up. Kiki. Do you have something to say? Yara gave a coy smile. Oh. I originally planned to keep it a secret. Since you asked, I'll tell you. Everly's official announcement is about me. 416 is the last few digits of my student number. Good guy. Announcing with a student number. You are even more abstract than Everly. Tiffany also twitched the corner of her mouth. Obviously doubting the student number statement. Kali has always been close to Yura, and didn't doubt at all. Kiki. Why didn't you say this earlier? Everly is a male god-level figure. Yara smiled embarrassed lie. He is relatively cold, and doesn't want too many people to know. So you guys also don't tell others. I looked at the unread messages on my phone. Sister Benja. Are you unhappy? I won't make an official announcement without telling you next time. Really? Don't be angry with me. Okay? Let's have a meal together later. Let's go to the third cafeteria that you like the most. Okay? Sister Benja. Why don't you reply to my message? Don't you love me anymore? Well. Cold. Really cold. I refused Everly's invitation to eat because he was about to leave for City B to participate in a ball game in the evening. It's better not to toss around at noon. I ordered takeout for you. You are leaving in the evening. Pack your luggage well in the dormitory. Sister is so nice. Love you. As for Yara, I don't want to expose her for the time being because this is not the first time she has done this. Last time, a little brother from the physics department was looking for someone on the confession wall. He said that when he had low blood sugar, a little sister gave him a piece of candy. He really wanted to thank this little sister well, but because of low blood sugar, he didn't see the little sister's face clearly, so he could only look for someone on the confession wall. As a result, on that day, Yara replied in the comment area, "It's just a small favor. You're welcome." The comments below were all praising her. What a kind-hearted and beautiful person. A reincarnation of Lei Feng. A fairy Bodhisattva. Even the little brother who posted the message left a comment saying that he wanted to invite her to eat. But the next day, the truly kind-hearted and beautiful little sister appeared. She explained in detail the time and place of her act of helping, and the brand of the candy she gave. And she strongly condemned Yara's behavior of taking credit. The comments reversed. Yara not only didn't apologize but cried in the dormitory for 3 days. I just think this is a small matter. There is no need to say thank you. I never said that I was the one who helped. She is too serious. Woo woo woo. They actually cyber-bullied me. For these 3 days, I was extremely annoyed by her crying. I don't understand. Clearly she took credit first. How can she righteously feel that she is the victim? The most outrageous is Kali, the good old person. She actually thinks what Yara said makes sense. She very enthusiastically posted on the wall, saying that others misinterpreted Yara's meaning. Only when the wall closed the commentary did this matter end. I'm very curious what excuse she will find this time, when she is exposed. Tiffany silently signaled me to go downstairs and buy food with her eyes. I climbed down from the bed with difficulty. On the way, Tiffany couldn't help asking me, "Ning Bao, do you think what Yara said is true?" I think it's a bit far-fetched. Although Everly always comes to attend our classes with us, usually there is no interaction between them. Normal people would think it's far-fetched. But there are 2 abnormal people in our dormitory. I patted Tiffany on the shoulder. "Do you remember when my birthday is?" Tiffany was silent for a moment, and then opened her mouth in shock. "Damn. Really? I was just wondering why he always comes to attend our classes and always gets close to you." I told Tiffany about growing up with Everly since childhood. After hearing it, Tiffany directly put her arm around my shoulder. "Ning Bao, you are so lucky. Ask him to add me as a friend. This time I can eat melons firsthand without his roommate tree laying." I recommended Tiffany's WeChat to Everly and told him that this is my good friend. Everly quickly added Tiffany, and very sensibly recommended many juniors' WeChat. Tiffany happily treated me to barbecue rice and added an egg for me. On the way back to the dormitory, Tiffany started complaining to me. "Do you think what is Yura aiming for by pretending to be Everly's girlfriend? Who knows? This is not the first time she has done this." Tiffany nodded. "Ning Bao, you don't know. Last semester, I took the same elective course as her. Once during a small assignment, I put a lot of effort into it. But in the end, my grade was very low. I thought it was because the direction I did wasn't liked by the teacher. But later, the teacher praised my assignment as a typical one in class. Only then did I find out that I forgot to write my name on my assignment. The teacher asked who did the assignment that Songki had. She directly said it was hers. When I found out, the grades had already been entered into the system. I went to the teacher. The teacher didn't believe me either. I was so angry at that time. When I went back and asked her why she pretended to be me, she put on that pitiful look again and said to me, "Oh, I didn't mean it. I also forgot to write my name." The teacher asked me. I thought it was mine. "Who knew you didn't write your name either?" Last semester, Tiffany did have a bad relationship with Song Ki for a period of time. So there was such a thing. Ning Bao. I must slap her in the face hard this time and let out my anger. When Tiffany and I returned to the dormitory, soon Tiffany took out her phone and loudly shared. "Oh." Everly posted on Moments. He said thank you to his girlfriend for ordering takeout. Yara's expression stiffened for a moment. Immediately. She shyly replied. Oh. I ordered it for him because I thought he was tired from playing ball. Tiffany was surprised. Really? Yara. Don't you dislike the braised chicken at the South Gate the most? You said it was extremely greasy. Then you still ordered this for your boyfriend? The braised chicken at the South Gate is a bit expensive. But I think it's very delicious and often order it to eat. But every time I ate it, Yara would keep muttering beside me. It smells so oily. Ning ning. How can you eat such things? The smile on Yara's face was barely hanging on. It's because he likes to eat that one. So I ordered it. Tiffany still wanted to be sarcastic. Kali spoke up. Tiffany. Why are you always targeting Kiki? What does her and her boyfriend's matter have to do with you? Really? It's not certain that he is her boyfriend yet. As soon as Tiffany finished speaking, Yara started to shed tears. Tiffany. How can you say that about me? I know you are still angry with me because of the assignment last time. I've already said that I really didn't mean it. Tiffany was just about to refute. Kali had already pulled up Songki. Kiki. We don't need to explain to her. Let's go eat. As soon as they left, Tiffany came over and asked me. Ning Bao. When are you going to expose her about this matter? Wait until Everly comes back. I'll call him to have a meal together. I don't believe she can still find an excuse. Right. This time she must apologize. But I didn't expect that Yara would have so many tricks. One day when I came back after picking up a package, I saw Yara happily trying on shoes in the dormitory. She has always liked the fairy style. This is the first time she is trying on sports shoes. The three of us were a little surprised. Kali couldn't help asking. Kiki. Why did you change your style? Yara gave a shy smile. Oh. It's a gift from my boyfriend. It's a couple stylo. I thought about it. Everly does have a pair of the same shoes. But he has been wearing them for several years. I didn't say anything and climbed onto the bed in silence. A few days later, Yara was showing off a new bag in the dormitory again. Oh, he knows I like bags the most. He insisted on buying it for me. As always, Kali played along. Kiki. The male god is so good to you. Tiffany opened the bed curtain and took one look. Then she sent me a message. Ning Bao. She is really acting well all by herself. Yes. If I didn't know that Everly's phone was confiscated during the preparation period, I would have suspected that he was cheating on me. After a while, Tiffany opened the bed curtain. With a smile on her face, she said to Yara. Yara. We haven't had a meal with Everly yet. Since he is your boyfriend, call him out, and let everyone see. Hearing this, Kali was also very excited. Yes. Kiki. Call the male god and have a meal with us. Yara's expression was a bit stiff. Even the hand holding the bag unconsciously tightened. Forget it. Everly doesn't like to see other girls. Tiffany sneered as soon as she heard this and lay back down. After a while, Yara posted a moment's love from boyfriend. SL. Love you. The picture was the bag she just took a photo of. I quietly closed moments and clicked on Everly's profile picture. After you finish the game, come back and have a meal with my roommates. Since Yara can't call him out, I have to do it. But before I waited for Everly to come back, Kali spoke up first and invited us to have a meal together. I have a new boyfriend. He is a senior in the same major. He wants to invite everyone to have a meal this weekend. Tiffany and I had no objections. Kali is just like her name. Although she may be related to Maria, she has no bad intentions. At noon on Sunday, Tiffany and I arrived at the restaurant on time. Kali was already waiting for us with her boyfriend. Yara hadn't arrived yet. We couldn't order first. Kali's boyfriend is named Nicola. He has a cheerful personality and has been chatting with us. The atmosphere is not awkward. Half an hour later, Yara finally arrived. Wearing a small fragrance-style suit and delicate big waves. She was dressed very grandly. Sorry. I'm late. It's okay. It's okay. Kiki. Sit down quickly. Kali didn't take it seriously and enthusiastically pulled her to sit down. Now that everyone is here, naturally we start eating. The restaurant chosen by Kali's boyfriend is not cheap. Tiffany and I can come here once a semester at most. So we ate very seriously. But Yara was obviously not hungry. Not only did she not eat much, but she kept discussing issues with Senior Lee. Tiffany quietly sent me a message. Look at her dressed like a peacock spreading its tail. And she keeps talking to the senior. What's her intention? Can't Kali see it? I looked at the two people chatting enthusiastically across Kali, and replied to Tiffany. Who knows? Kali doesn't think there's anything wrong. Let's just eat in peace. That's true. By the way, the male god will be back soon. Right? Can we come here to eat again then? This place is so delicious. I'll try my best. After all, it's too expensive. At the end of the meal, Nikola exchanged WeChat with the three of us. He said that if he couldn't contact Kali, he might need to contact us. Naturally, we couldn't refuse. On the way back to the dormitory, seeing that all four of us were there, I said that next weekend, I would also invite everyone to have a meal with my boyfriend. Kali was in a good mood and hurriedly asked me, Ning Ning, you didn't say anything when you had a boyfriend. Why not call him over tomorrow to meet us? He has something to do and is not at school these days. He will only be back next Friday. So let's meet on the weekend. Kali said with a smile that it was good. Then she turned to Tiffany and said, Tiffany, you are the only one in our dormitory who is single. Hurry up. Tiffany smiled ambiguously. I'm the only one single? Maybe not. Tiffany told me that she was looking forward to the meal next weekend. She couldn't wait to watch the good show. I was also looking forward to it. This time, Yara should have nothing to say. Right. But I didn't expect that the good show would be staged in advance. The actors were actually Kali, then Yara. On Wednesday, Tiffany and I were doing group assignments in the dormitory. Kali angrily entered the door and went straight to Song Ki. Yara, I took you as my best friend. But you actually hooked up with my boyfriend. Tiffany and I quickly put down our computers and entered the melon-eating state. Yara still smiled gently. Sure, Achicia. What are you talking about? My phone ran out of battery today. I used my boyfriend's phone. As a result, I received a selfie you sent. Why did you send a selfie to my boyfriend? Also, since you added my boyfriend, you have been chatting with him every night, right? And you say good morning and good night to each other. If I hadn't seen it by accident today, I would still be kept in the dark. Yara stepped forward and took Kali's hand. Without any panic, she explained. Sha Yai Shan. I chat with him only because you are my best friend. He is your boyfriend. Of course I have to have a good relationship with him. Today I sent him a selfie to ask if this dress looks good. I was planning to buy a same one as a birthday gift for you. Kali spoke doubtfully. Really? Of course. Moreover, my boyfriend is Everly. He is so good. How could I hook up with your boyfriend? Cha Yi Shan. I took you as my best friend. But you actually think of me like this. After Yara finished speaking, she brought out her crying trick again. Kali was crying and began to doubt herself. Kali thought for a while, and hurriedly stepped forward to comfort her. I'm sorry. Kiki. I shouldn't have thought of you like this. The two people over there were crying, and confiding in each other. Tiffany and I felt like we had eaten a bowl of shit. Tiffany couldn't help whispering to me. She actually believes this? Respect others' fates, and let go of the urge to help. As always, if the person involved thinks there is no problem, it's useless for others to say more. As soon as Everly got his phone, he replied to me immediately. Yes. Yes. Sister Benja, are you finally going to give me a status? I brought a gift for my sister. Sister, come pick me up on Friday. Shall we choose the restaurant for Sunday's meal together? On Friday night, I went to pick up Everly. As soon as he saw me, he gave me a bear hug. Sister, I miss you so much. I hugged him back and thought that tonight's moonlight was really beautiful. Everly handed me a big bag. Inside was a toy bear about 1 meter tall. Sister, do you like it? I do like it. But how did you bring back such a big thing? I just carried it back. When someone asked me, I said it was for my girlfriend. I held the bear and had dinner with Everly. By the way, I booked the restaurant for Sunday's meal. It was the one Tiffany had been longing for. I thought the price was a bit expensive and planned to give Everly some money. But he refused. Sister, I won the ball game. There is a bonus. At noon on Sunday, Everly and I arrived at the restaurant first. After a while, Tiffany came excitedly, pulling Yura with her left hand and Kali with her right hand. Everly had a smile on his face and greeted them very warmly. Hello everyone. I am Ning Ning's boyfriend Everly. Nice to meet you all. Yara froze on the spot. Her face turned red and then white. But Kali was surprised and said, Everly, aren't you Kiki's boyfriend? You even made an official announcement on Moments. Everly hurriedly explained. Classmate. Don't talk nonsense. Ning Ning is my girlfriend. What I officially announced was also Ning Ning's birthday. Kali remembered my birthday and also looked at Yara with confusion. Tiffany and I also looked at her, waiting for her to admit her mistake. Yara's face was not good. But she still explained. It's my fault. I'm in an online relationship with my boyfriend. I haven't met him either. He said he was Everly. After Yara finished speaking, she looked at Everly with a wronged expression as if Everly had deceived her. Everly hurriedly explained to me. Sister Benja. I don't know her at all. I don't even have her on WeChat. You can look at my phone if you don't believe me. Naturally, I believed Everly. But before I could speak, Yara had already spoken with tears in her eyes. Ning Ning. It's not Everly's fault. I was probably deceived. I'm sorry. As soon as Yara said this, it seemed that she had become the victim again. I didn't expect that she could come up with such a clumsy excuse. If she was deceived. Before Everly posted on Moments about the takeout. Clearly it wasn't ordered by her. But she still quickly admitted it. I was angry and spoke bluntly. Yara, since you said you were deceived, why don't you send out the WeChat of that online boyfriend? We can help you find this liar. Moreover, Everly also quickly said. That's right. This is an infringement of my right of reputation. Even if I don't call the police, I have to find the person and deal with him properly. Yara wiped away her tears and shook her head. No need. I will handle my own affairs. Ning Ning. I'm sorry. I'm not in the mood to eat. I'll go back first. As soon as Yara left, Kali was afraid that something might happen to her because she was in a bad mood and followed her out. Everly was completely confused. What's going on? Sister Benja. I swear to God. I definitely didn't hook up with others. I pulled down his hand. I know. Let's eat ours. Tiffany nodded. Yes. It just saves some meal money for the male god. But how could Yura come up with such words? Whatever she makes up, she won't get away with this without apologizing. The three of us had a meal. Everly sent us to downstairs to the dormitory. He repeatedly told me to tell him if anything happened. He would definitely report it to the counselor. When Tiffany and I returned to the dormitory, Yara was crying pitifully. Kali was still comforting her. I didn't want to watch her act. I directly said, Yara, let's talk. But before Yara could speak, Kali spoke and lashed out at me. Benja, how dare you come to find Kiki? You snatched her boyfriend and deliberately brought him in front of Kiki to show off. How could you be so shameless? I was so angry that I laughed. Looking at Yara, I said, is this how you explained it to her? Whether your boyfriend is Everly. You know it. I know it too. What are you pretending for? I originally thought that if you apologized, this matter would be over. Since you said so, this matter is not over. Seeing what I said, Yara was obviously panicked for a moment. Ning Ning. I didn't mean that. Xia Yai Shen misunderstood. I know that you and Everly are not such people. Ning Ning. Chai Shan was just in a hurry and thought wrong. Kali is so sincere. To be able to think so wrongly. I don't know how Yara instigated her. Okay. You're always right. Since you were deceived, then we have to find this liar. I will let Everly tell the counselor about this matter. You'd better hand over the week out of your online boyfriend. Hearing this, Yara squeezed out two more tears. Ning Ning. Why are you so aggressive? Tiffany couldn't stand it anymore and said. Yara, you were deceived in your feelings. Isn't it right for us to help you find the bad guy? Besides, Everly shouldn't be wrongly accused for nothing. Chai Yai Shan. Right? Kali frowned and still said to Yara. Kiki. What they said makes sense. No matter who the person who deceived you is, they should be found. Seeing that no one was helping her, Yara could only reluctantly agree to hand over the WeChat of her online boyfriend. I told Everly about this matter. Everly went to find the counselor on Monday morning and said that someone was swindling under his name and already deceived one person. Yara also really gave the counselor a WeChat ID and several screenshots of chat records to prove that she was really deceived. The counselor said that she would find out who was deceiving people. Then she let us all go back. Before leaving, Yara gave me a look. There was no kindness in that look. But I didn't care. After a few days, the counselor replied that the WeChat ID was newly applied not long ago. The SIM card was also new. Temporarily. The person couldn't be found. Since it didn't cause any serious impact, this matter was let go. But after this incident, Yara and I completely broke off. I originally had nothing to say to her. Naturally, I was happy to be free. But Kali has been in a low mood recently. It seems that she is breaking up. One day, Tiffany secretly told me. I saw Yara and Kali's boyfriend hugging each other behind the second cafeteria yesterday. I looked at Tiffany in shock. Tiffany's expression was also very tangled. Do you think I should tell her? Although Kali is not very smart, she is not a bad person. Well, I think if we tell her directly, Yara will easily turn it around and say that we two are sowing discord between them. Tiffany deeply agreed and nodded. But just watching like this, I also feel a little unbearable. We discussed for a long time and decided to find a way to let Kali discover it by herself. After that, we two praised the food in the second cafeteria every day in the dormitory. Under the subtle influence, Kali bought meals at the second cafeteria for a whole week. And on the last day, she discovered Yara and Nicole's affair. At noon that day, Yara brought the crying Kali back. Chur Yai Shan. Let's talk about anything properly. Don't cry. Kali cried even louder. I said why he has been ignoring me recently. When I ask, he always says he is busy. So he is busy accompanying you. Why did you pull me back? Are you afraid of being pointed at? Yara was caught red-handed and knew there was nothing to explain. Jia Yai Shan. You and the senior are not suitable. We are the ones who truly love each other. You're talking nonsense. No wonder you always indirectly asked me about Ain and us family situation. It turns out it was for hooking up with someone else's boyfriend. This time, Kali didn't easily believe Yara's words. After hearing this, Yara also didn't have a good expression. Kali, the senior broke up with you 3 days ago. So he is not your boyfriend anymore. What you said about me is slander. Yara. You are actually such a person. Yara didn't pay attention to Kali anymore. She turned around and left with her bag on her back. Instead, Kali cried miserably in the dormitory. Tiffany couldn't stand it and persuaded her a few words. From then on, Yara completely broke off with the three of us. She went out early and returned late every day. Sometimes she didn't even return to the dormitory. The days passed by one like this. It was all so peaceful. Kali walked out of the shadow of her broken relationship and turned her grief and anger into motivation for learning. This afternoon, there was a group presentation for a professional course. Halfway there, I suddenly remembered that I had forgotten to bring my computer. So I hurried back to the dormitory to get it. As soon as I put away my computer, I heard Yura's voice coming from the balcony. She seemed to be on the phone with someone. Didn't I just transfer money to you last month? What does his living expenses have to do with me? Rich people? Do you think rich people are so easy to find? Okay. I know. I'll hang up first. Yara hurriedly ran from the balcony to the bathroom and vomited violently. I was about to go out. But Yara stopped me. Benja. You know what? You are really annoying like this. I kindly handed over water. But I am annoying. I took the water back and left immediately. As the final exams approached, Tiffany and I studied in the library every day. Yara seemed to have calmed down a lot. Basically, she stayed in the dormitory. But she seemed to be in poor health and looked very haggard. After being disgusted by her last time, I no longer had excessive sympathy. After the exam week ended, I also went back to my hometown by car with Everly. He pestered me every day to confess to our parents on both sides. But I firmly refused. It would be so embarrassing to see each other every day. In this way, while secretly having a relationship with Everly, I lived a carefree life at home like a freeloader. This evening, when I came back from a date with Everly, I had just firmly refused his request to hold hands in the corridor. But as soon as I turned around, I met Caleb. I called Caleb guilty and rushed straight to my home. But before I could open the door, I heard a loud slap behind me. Then came Everly's incredulous voice. Dad? I hurriedly ran down and saw Caleb pointing at Everly's nose and scolding. I sent you out to study. It's fine if you don't study hard. But you got a female classmate pregnant and don't take responsibility. Your counselor even called home. Everly looked incredulous. Dad. What are you talking about? Caleb was so angry that he was shaking. He raised his hand to hit again. But I stepped forward and stopped him. Caleb. Let's talk properly. When Caleb saw me, he stopped. But he still pointed at Everly and said, Xiaoning. Get out of the way. I will beat this bastard to death today. Not only did I not move aside, but I also explained. Caleb. There may be some misunderstanding. Everly is not such a person. The call has already reached home. How can there be such a misunderstanding? Because I am Everly's girlfriend. After I told everything, Caleb finally regained his senses. He took us back home and explained what had happened. This afternoon, Everly's counselor called and said that a female classmate with her parents had come to the school. They said that Everly had got her pregnant and was irresponsible and refused to take care of her. Naturally, Caleb was extremely angry. Everly was putting an egg on his face and rebutted. Dad. You believe such words? Caleb's face was still as stinky as ever. How do I know if you have been messing around outside? Xiaoning. Don't worry. If this is true, Uncle will definitely break his leg. Dad. Stop talking nonsense. I spent a lot of effort to chase after my girlfriend. How could I do such a thing? Everly firmly insisted that he hadn't done it. And I also believed him. Finally, Everly's parents planned to take Everly back to school tomorrow and confront the girl's parents face to face. Although there were still more than 10 days before school started, I was worried about Everly. So I told my parents and also bought a ticket for the next day. As soon as we got off the car, Caleb contacted the counselor. The counselor said that the mother and daughter of the victim had been at the school. We could go directly there. As soon as we entered the office, we saw an expected person. Yara was sitting on a chair looking haggard. When she saw that I had also come, she even smiled at me. Before Everly's parents could even greet the counselor, a middle-aged woman directly pounced on Everly and started tearing at him. You are Everly. Right. You are so bad at a young age. You got my daughter pregnant and don't take responsibility. The incident happened suddenly. Everly quickly pulled me behind him. Everly's parents also quickly pulled her away. Yara's mother was still not willing to give up. Good. You are bullying us. A mother and daughter. Because there are more of you. Right. When she saw Everly protecting me, she scolded me again. You shameless person. It's you who seduced my daughter's boyfriend. Right? If it weren't for you, he wouldn't ignore my daughter. Everly was already holding back his anger. Hearing this, he couldn't help but rebut. What are you talking about? This is my girlfriend. Your daughter has nothing to do with me. Yara's mother still wanted to pounce on him again. But the counselor stopped her. Yara's mother, calm down. You are here to solve the problem. Don't do anything violent. Okay. Under the counselor's forced intervention, we could finally sit down and communicate. Everly spoke first. Counselor, first of all, I have nothing to do with Yara. She is just my girlfriend's roommate. I haven't met her many times. And we have no private contact. How could her pregnancy have anything to do with me? Yara's mother wouldn't listen. You say there is no relationship? There is no relationship? Can my daughter not know who got her pregnant? Both sides stuck to their own opinions. The counselor was also very embarrassed. Then what do you want to do? As soon as Yara's mother heard this, she immediately said, Get married. Must get married. The house and car must be in my daughter's name. And you have to give us 200 Zaryuan as betrothal gift. I see that your family is dressed well. You should be able to afford it. Right? The four of us were shocked by Yara's mother's words. For a moment, we didn't know what to say. Instead, Yara sneered as soon as she heard it. Everly's mother had already regained her senses and said, This parent. My son said he didn't do such a thing. We are willing to believe him. What you said is unfounded. Why should our family marry your daughter? You want to deny it, right? Can I use my daughter's innocence to frame your son? Can the child in my daughter's belly be fake? This test sheet is clearly written in black and white. Yara's mother took out a test sheet from her bag and slapped it on the table. Caleb finally couldn't stand it anymore. Teacher. This parent doesn't understand human language. Let's call the police and deal with it. You think I'm afraid? Come on. Call the police. I'll just accuse your son of rape. Everly directly went out and called the police. Then the police took us to make a record. Originally, I thought that if Yara and her mother insisted on framing Everly, I'm afraid the police would still need time to verify. But Yara directly retracted her words and said that what she and her mother said was purely false. The child in her belly was not Everly's. It was Ain Ando's. Although Yara retracted her words, Everly's family was no longer willing to let it go easily. They planned to sue their mother and daughter for slander. Yara's mother changed her originally arrogant attitude. She pulled Caleb and kept apologizing. It's all because of this little bitch in our family talking nonsense. You are magnanimous. Don't sue me. My son is still waiting to take the civil service exam. Then she slapped Yara in the face in front of the police. It's all because of your nonsense. If your brother can't take the civil service exam, I'll tear you apart alive. The police quickly pulled her away. But Everly's family had been like this. Naturally, they wouldn't let it go easily just because of an apology. After Everly's family filed a case, we planned to go back. But Yara stopped me and said she had something to tell me. I asked Everly and the others to go back first. Then I sat down with Yara aside. Yara directly said, Do you know why I framed Everly? As a normal person. How do I know what you are thinking? Yara wasn't angry. Instead, she smiled. I did this because I was jealous of you. Because you can see through my disguise at a glance. No matter how much I pretend. The way you look at me is like looking at a clown. Do you know? My father died early. I have an older brother above me. I have nothing since I was a child. No beautiful clothes. No good grades. No good popularity. And no good family. So I pretend to have what I don't have. I also want to be like a normal person. I couldn't understand her train of thought. You don't actually have to pretend. If you want something, just work hard to get it. You say it easily. Do you think I didn't try? I snatched Collie's boyfriend. His family conditions are good. I also thought he was sincere to me. But in the end, as soon as he heard that I was pregnant, he directly deleted me and said it had nothing to do with him. I felt that the effort I meant and the effort she understood were not the same thing. But she didn't need me to explain. She had already continued talking on her own. Do you know why my mother let me go to college? My brother has been taking the civil service exam for 3 years. But he has never passed. My mother can't afford to support him anymore. So she let me go to school to catch a rich son-in-law back for her. I can go to school only because there are many rich second-generation people in college. And they are easy to deceive. I'm pregnant. She doesn't care about me at all. She only cares about whether I can get married smoothly and get money for her. So, I thought of Everly. I was thinking, since you are so clear-headed, will you believe him? If you don't believe him, then it's just right. I ruined your marriage. If you believe him, then naturally you won't let me and my mother go easily. Once my mother has a criminal record, my brother will never be able to take the civil service exam again. I didn't expect her to think like this. It seemed that no matter what, she would gain something. I didn't provoke you. Did I? Of course not. I just envy you. Envy that you have everything and are still so clear-headed. That day I was so embarrassed. You still handed me water. Casually. As if it wasn't a big deal. For all the things in my life. You seem to look down on them. So I just want to see you as hysterical as me. It's a pity. I still didn't see it. I didn't listen anymore. I think Yara should have some psychological problems. If the rumor didn't cause serious consequences, her mother would only be administratively detained. It wouldn't affect her brothers taking the civil service exam at all. So it's better to learn the law well. Moreover, even if her mother could have a criminal record, would she really win? Clearly, she has a better way to go. Forget it. Good words are hard to persuade those who are doomed. I just need to live my life well. I walked out of the police station. Everly was sitting at the door waiting for me. When he saw me coming out, he ran towards me in the sunlight. Sister Benja. What did she say to you? She didn't say that I had something with her again. Did she? I pulled Everly and walked towards the school. She didn't say anything. She said she was seriously ill. Everly's parents went back on the same day. Everly and I stayed at school and waited for the new semester. Before the start of school, Yara's matter was almost dealt with. Yara's mother went to make trouble at Ain and O's family again. She even threatened to sue Ain and O. But Ain and O had evidence to prove that they were willing. After the police mediation, he only gave a few thousand yuan. As for Yara and her mother's rumor mongering, they were only detained for 5 days and fined 500 yuan. Later, Yara never came to school again. The counselor said that she had applied for a 2-year suspension. By the time she comes back to school, I guess I will have graduated smoothly. It's good that we won't see each other in the future. After all, stupidity is contagious. After the start of school, Tiffany ate the whole melon and was so shocked that her mouth could fit a duck egg. Everly sent me a message again. Sister Benja, I want to make an official announcement again. I want to announce that I only have one dear girlfriend. Others don't come close. Okay. Then make a good official announcement this time. After a while, I saw Everly's new Moments post. Let me introduce to everyone. This is my girlfriend, Benja. The picture was a photo of the two of us. The two people in the photo were close together, smiling brightly, smiling brightly, smiling brightly, smiling brightly, smiling brightly.